What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, it is the 15th day of June, and here we are sitting at about 105.7K, just below there. 8 hours, 35 minutes left in the day. 8 hours, 35 minutes left in the week, as it would be, actually. We're about to close the week, and we're going to see if we can get this week to close green. Again, just to refresh everybody's minds, we want this week to close green because the more green weeks that we have, the closer we're inching to this overbought zone. Now, I mean, if we close red here, this isn't going to hurt us too much, but I want progress week after week. The more progress we get, the closer we are. Once we get into this weekly overbought zone, I mean, let's just look at this real quick, right? Because I haven't really gone over it too much, but I've like just showed you on the RSI. But let's do this, right? You finally got into the overbought zone here this week. You even got into it here, and you didn't get as much as you got over here, but you got into it there. You got into it there. You got into it there. You got into it here, right? Typically, whenever, if you guys are noticing, whenever you get into the overbought zone, it's multiple, if not several weeks that you're in the overbought zone. It's very rare, even dating back to 2019. It's very rare to do exactly what we did on the last attempt, to get in and then get out like that. You don't oftentimes reject the overbought zone on the weekly time frame once you get into it, right? Maybe you reject it from below, but not once you get into it. Typically, getting into it is a good thing, and it means multiple weeks of upside to come, if not several weeks, right? Here, look at all the upside that came from this low to high. This was like a third of that move overall, right? Here, you didn't grow too much, but you still did have one, two, three, 4, 5 weeks of growth if you include the high on that week there. Here, whenever you got overbought, look at the growth that came because of that, right? That was that cycle-ending finale there. We get it here. You did grow. It wasn't that much growth, to be completely fair, but you did grow for about a month. We did see higher highs pretty consistently for a month there. Here you grew as well, but you were consolidating. Again, these little attempts in the weekly RSI, you can see these are reflected in the weaker attempts up, but they still drive the price higher. And with anything like this, anything of the sort, even these like little readings here, we would likely drive to new all-time highs. And with that, just deductive reasoning would suggest that we're probably not going to get a small reading in the RSI. I think that we would get a deep extension into the RSI. And oftentimes, actually, you put a line right here. Oftentimes, we see something that's above the 85, even above the 90 in the weekly RSI. That's a strong move, you guys. It's a really strong indication right there. Here, all the way up. Here, all the way up, right? And that was the beginning of our last move, really. That was when, I guess the beginning was back here. The low was here, but I'd say the move started here. It just took full shape right here. That was like the beginning of it. So we're one good week away, you guys, from something that will implicate several weeks, if not even over a month or so's worth of consistent growth. These movements up where we're just moving up nonstop, no serious retracements, right? If there are serious retracements, they're like quick little shakeouts, and then that's it, right? But nothing too crazy. Not these long, drawn-out 30, 20, 35% corrections that take 5 to 6 months to achieve. That's why closing this week in the next 8 hours and 32 minutes is such a big deal for it to close green. Now, again, it's really not that big of a deal if it closes red. It's really not, because, look, we're red right now. It's really not that big of a deal. We're pretty neutral. But I want us to inch closer. Every inch. It's a game of inches, some might say. That's what they told me back whenever I played football in high school. But no, I mean, every inch that we get closer to the overbought zone is a moment that we are closer to that next phase up in the markets. And I do think that that's what's happening. I mean, just looking at the weekly RSI, or looking at the weekly time frame, we've moved up. We've been in this area now for 4 weeks, basically a whole 4 weeks. We've consolidated for a near month of February, and not the month of February, a February is what I was saying, because it's 28 days, 4 weeks. We've consolidated here, right? A whole February, and we're ready to go up higher. 4 weeks, and then moving up higher. I think next week is going to be the week that we do get overbought. I think next week will be the week that we do see the highest weekly close and new all-time highs that we've ever seen in Bitcoin's history. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there. See if we could confirm that today's going to keep moving up. I mean, we've moved up like $50 since I started talking. Maybe it likes me talking, man. I'll just keep whispering sweet nothings to you, Bitcoin. You will go higher. You can do it. You're the little coin that could. You're a really good coin. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. lower lows, lower highs, downtrend. You've broken out of it. You kind of had a sideways trend and you substituted your sideways trend or your downtrend for an uptrend now. You've got higher lows and higher highs. Typically, this is something that I've noticed. I've never really said this before, but I feel like maybe I've hinted at it. I don't know. A strong move in the RSI, this is a nice trend, but a strong trend, it tends to be a little bit more wide. It takes more time. Something like this, the RSI, you can't go below the zero. So whenever it's at a more tight channel and it's steeper, it might be more volatile. It might be a faster paced move for the time. But typically speaking, it produces a less strong move, a more insignificant move, right? And here to the downside, that was strong. It was volatile and high velocity for a time. But these long, slow, drawn-out phases, whether they're to the upside or downside, those tend to bring the most growth or decay, depending on which direction you're going. If we're looking at the 1 hour time frame right now, I would say we found a higher low here. Didn't even touch this area here. We're bouncing right off the 40. Beautiful. Got overbought. Didn't get oversold. Rejected the oversold zone here. You're slowly but surely showing strength. We get above this 60, we're definitely getting into that overbought zone. And when we get into the overbought zone, what happened last time on the 1 hour, we had a nice move up like this. We do that here. We got 8 hours left in the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is. This is still Sunday. We're actually still in Sunday right there. Boom. We're going to likely be above $107,000 by the end of today, which, by the way, would make this week green. Right now, we're neutral. We just got to move up like a whole $10, and then we're green. You know what I mean? So the 1 hour time frame agrees with the hopes and dreams, the aspirations that I've laid out already, is that we will continue to move up by the end of today, and we will close this week green, inching closer to the weekly. Wouldn't it be nice if we just got it done with? We got up to like 110K or higher, got into that. I don't know if that's the price. I don't have the actual math, but I would assume 110K, maybe even 109K would get us into the overbought zone on the weekly. Wouldn't it be nice if in the next 8 hours and 28 minutes we just didn't have to question anymore? We knew that the weeks to come were going to be glorious, right? We're not even really questioning it. We're assuming already the weeks to come are going to be glorious. But once you get into that overbought zone, it might happen this week. It really might happen this week, which would be awesome. But the 1 hour time frame is certainly suggestive that we're going to be getting into this overbought zone by the end of the day. We probably see some kind of, depending on how we do it, maybe we just get a slightly higher high like this. We stop right here, we come back down, and then we get into it again. Monday's going to be a continuation, right? So end of Sunday's going to be green. We might open up Monday to the downside and then finish Monday off even more bullish than we finished off Sunday, getting next week into the weekly overbought zone immediately. That's awesome. That would be awesome. Very, very convincing that the weeks ahead are going to be awesome. 4 hour time frame. This is extreme volatility, man. Just getting oversold, overbought, oversold like this is very, very volatile stuff. If we're looking at the price, you did have a double bottom in the RSI, double bottom right here, low and low, double bottom with a higher low here. And I would even say, yes, that low is a lower low. It is a double bottom, but it is a lower low. When you get lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price, that's hidden bullish divergence, right? It's hidden bullish divergence. Big wick, you got a big wick, gotta love a big wick, man. And now you're moving up with almost as much volume as you had here, right? That's the most volume on a 4 hour candle that we've seen since that day, Friday, since the beginning of Friday there. That's the biggest, that's the largest amount of volume, and it's the weekend, guys. It's Sunday. So moving up like this is nice to see with the volume to back it up. The 4 hour time frame, it's in the area below the 50, so that is bearish in itself after just getting oversold, but I think you're bullishly postured, right? You just bounced off the 40 on the 4 hour. You just bounced off the 40 on the 1 hour. Bullish. Now, unlike the 1 hour, I don't think you'll be in the overbought zone by the end of today. Maybe you will, but let's just assume this trajectory, right? Let's just assume that it's something like this. That would be like Tuesday, Wednesday, that you'd be in the overbought zone. So Tuesday, Wednesday might be the days that we're at new all-time highs. Maybe Monday, but I'm thinking Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometime this next week, absolutely, we're going to be at new all-time highs, guys. Daily time frame here, looking at this, coming back out to the daily, bouncing off the 40, awesome. Getting overbought like this, you can't even get oversold, awesome. Overall, and this is what I mean by long-term uptrends right here, right? You've got these lows coming in. I guess here we did break out of it, to be completely fair. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get blemishes. It does happen. We've seen it enough times, right? I'm not just cherry picking here. I want to draw like a parallel channel, and it doesn't seem to respect the parallel. So I don't know how to I don't know, maybe we don't have a channel. Maybe I shouldn't use that top trend line, just the bottom trend line. But we do have higher highs still, right? And higher lows as well. Even with this low breaking out of this kind of trend, we're back in the trend. We're finding support. We're actually at an area to find support right now. We get back above that 50. I would assume that we're going to be getting into that overbought zone the end of the month, right? So the 4-hour time frame is suggestive that this week's going to be good, right? The 1-hour time frame suggestive today's going to be good. The day is suggestive that between now and the end of the month, we're going to have an end of month rally. Absolutely. We're going to have an end of month rally, you guys. So throw all your rent money on it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That probably works out, honestly, but don't do that, okay? Just pay your rent. $105.8 thousand right now. 8 hours, 25 minutes left in the day. We're probably going to grow between today and the rest of the month. It's the 15th right now. We got 15 days left in the month. It's going to be a good couple of weeks, even beyond that, right? Typically, when you get overbought in the weekly RSI, it's not just 2 weeks that you continue to grow. It's like a month of growth, right? July is going to be a good month. Going into the end of this month of June is going to be a good time too. So the next 4 to 6 weeks, it's going to be awesome, you guys. We just need to move up a little bit more. Move up like $100, man, and then we close this week to the green effect. Every dollar after that just gets us a little bit closer to that overbought zone, and then we're on our way to riches and glory. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.